Titans at 22. Jamin Davis, this dude, another middle linebacker, 6'3.5", 234. SEC guy that had like 120 tackles this past year in freaking like 11 games. So this dude is
so he was
coming out of Kentucky, man.
This guy's averaging
all over the field.
Yeah, this guy's averaging 10 tackles a game. He is a little bit more behind the Micah Parsons style of middle linebacker, just kind of a run stuffer, leader.
Big body.
Big body, leader in the middle. Titans need it. I mean, as great as the Titans are at being the best run team in the NFL, they are really terrible at blocking the run. So from a defensive
standpoint, were the worst run defense last year, were they not?
They might have. Well, Dallas probably was, but
the Titans.
No, I really do believe. No, I think I'm not saying Dallas wasn't.
You might be right though. You might be right.
If Tennessee,
just because it stands out because like I think you're right because I remember it standing out like one of the best running offenses also had one of the worst run defenses.
Yeah,
like they happen to just lead the category in runs, yards for and yards against. Like
I think I really do believe it was like last year they gave up like 180 rush yards per game or something like that.
That wouldn't surprise me. I think they had to play Baltimore twice. No, they only had to play Baltimore once. But
if Tennessee was at 32, I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas wasn't like 31, 30, or 29.
Certainly.
That way.
Certainly. I mean, y'all had the literal just worst defense ever last year. But for Tennessee, if you get this guy, I mean, you should feel really good about it. I mean, he's a great, tackling leader, vocal, quarterback of your defense kind of player. Really highly regarded coming out of Kentucky. So you should feel, in my opinion, really good about it.
Buccaneers had the best rush defense.
So it was the Texans, Cowboys, Jaguars.
Hell, Titans aren't even. Yeah, they're way down here.
Okay, well, man, they weren't as bad as you thought. How about that? But the Cowboys were right there, by the way.
Cowboys are second to last in rush yards.
What was that? 30?
They were at 31. Yeah, the Titans actually had the worst. At 30, they were at 32.
Titans were 32?
Or not, sorry, Texans.
Oh, so both Texas teams were 32-31, huh?
Yeah.
Solid. Love that. Everything's bigger in Texas, including the one horse.
So, well, on to 23, the Jets, they have 2 first-round picks this year as well. This one they got from Seattle, and I think it's because they sent one of their defensive linemen over to Seattle this past year. But when I was referring to earlier where we were at 9 and I couldn't find anybody that was basically sitting in the Buccaneers pick or the Broncos pick, and they were we were talking about how they're going to trade out. You couldn't find consistency. This guy right here, Greg Newsome II, regarded as the 3rd best corner in the draft behind J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain, and 7 of the 8 people said this is who the Jets are taking. So I think the Jets know exactly who they want at 23. And I think he will get to 23. I just don't see enough teams that need cornerback that bad in front of them.
That don't need it worse than another position.
Yeah, worse.
Yeah, they've got other needs that are more important.
Yeah, 6 foot and 3/8, 192 out of Northwestern, and 3 consistent 6 foot corners. I mean, you're starting to see a little bit more of that at the college level and the NFL level where they don't want 5'10" corners anymore. They want guys that are at least
it's because now you're getting your
6'4" receivers. Yeah. So
it's no longer. I mean, you have your standouts and like AB who's at the 6 foot mark, Devonta Smith who's at the 6. But yeah, most of your 6'2" or better is what you're looking at the receiver. I would say his average height is 6'2" or better.
Yeah.
So if you don't,
a DB can be a little bit shorter as long as he has the ability to just. He has to be right there on the receiver.
But I'm saying,
his physical presence is going to disrupt it enough.
But at 5'10", like, I don't care if you have a 45-inch vertical. At 5'10", if the 6'3" receiver has a 40-inch vertical, you're not going to be able to make up.
Obviously.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why that was always a thing, like a 5'10", 5'11", like, I was like, that's the corner we want. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, why would you not want somebody that's he could be
at least fighting for him on the height?
Well, yeah, like 6 foot, 6'1", but find the guy who's 190 pounds and not 220.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're the Jets fans, I mean, if you walk away with Zach Wilson and this guy, you got to feel really good. I mean,
especially
you're
out of the first round.
Yeah. You've got your quarterback in the future and a guy that can actually cover one-on-one wide receivers. So you ready?
Yeah.
I'm
ready.
You know who's at 24?
Yeah. So with the 24th overall pick, the Steelers, we alluded to it a little bit earlier. They lit the running back of the future walk, James Conner. So with this pick, pretty much everyone said they're going running back. It was either down to Najee Harris or
Travis Etienne.
I was about to say,
from Club
yeah,
yeah.
blew my mind on that one. Travis Etienne. If they go Najee Harris, I will probably pass out from excitement. Genuinely,
He was
Did the kid out of North Carolina?
both of them went. Both Williams and Carter went.
I would. Granted, Etienne has done well at Clemson, but this past year alone, that Williams kid out of North Carolina surprised me a lot.
But they ran the ball really efficiently. But so what happened is the other day when I was making this, I went through 6 of the 8 said Najee Harris, the other 2 said Travis Etienne. And so I put this slide together. I just sent him a quick shot, and he literally said, he was like, I will blank in my pants.
And it wasn't number 2. I wasn't number 2. Yeah. Najee Harris is he's a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal running back. We saw it last year. He hurdled 6-foot Nick McLeod from Notre Dame.
Easy.
He also
hurdled
hurdled a 6-foot defender the year before
From South Carolina.
From South. You know who it was, Adam? You know who it was?
Was it J.C. Horn?
No, it was
No.
R.J. Roderick.
I thought it was.
So I mean,
Jamal
Najee
Steve.
Harris has got. I mean, at 6'2", 230. He's got the physical appearance and just metrics to play in the NFL and last a long time.
Oh yeah.
Alabama running backs of past have recently been just destroying the NFL. I think Najee Harris got, no matter where he goes, if it's not Steelers or something, he's going to be a great running back.
Oh yeah. Addition
If
to
the
the
Steelers are able to
backfield,
pick him up at
absolutely.
24th, I think that's going to be one hell of a steal in the first round. Because we haven't seen a running back. This will be the first one of the draft. If it follows what we predict, this will be the first running back. To me, which would be insane that the first running back goes only at 24th.
I mean,
You
do the Jets have a running back that?
I could see the Jets taking one of the 2 running backs in front of Pittsburgh here as well. So I mean, maybe Pittsburgh doesn't get Najee, maybe they get Travis Etienne. But I do think that Pittsburgh will take a running back. It will be one of those 2. I mean, if you roll through all of these other teams, you can't find a team that really actually needs running back that doesn't need quarterback, right? I mean, Jacksonville needs a running back, but they're not going to take one of these guys at 1. They got to take a quarterback, right?
The other needs outweigh the running back need.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dallas has got Elliott. You got, even if Denver couldn't make up their mind at 9, they got Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay. I mean,
I say, well, even in Dallas, like the 2 second running back in.
he's irrelevant. You can't even think of his name.
but I mean, like Pittsburgh
Pollard.
Pittsburgh has Benny Snell from Kentucky still in the second spot, but he's not breaking through. He's a great complimentary running back. He's one of those guys he can go out there for a couple downs to give
The
RB1 a break, stuff like that.
Tony Pollard is his name, by the way.
If Pittsburgh gets Najee Harris, that's going to be
Scat back boy.
That's going to be a steal, and I'll probably going out and buying a Harris jersey almost immediately.
DHK, you gonna get you one?
You should,
Yeah.
I'll DHK it with you, baby. We'll just put a order together. So
To be able to lock that bad boy down for 4 or 5 years would just be wild.
the thing about Najee
It'd be insane,
Harris,
Steelers fan. It'd just be wild.
The thing about Najee Harris, I want to go on record saying this guy will be the next Derrick Henry. I mean, that's kind of what Nick Saban wanted because Derrick Henry was leaving the same year that this guy came in, and he was like, "All right, well, shit, I'll just throw this other
That's a
6
wee
foot
load. That's just a wee
I'll
load.
just throw this other 230-pound running back into my set." And I mean, this guy has more versatility, can catch the ball at the backfield better than Derrick Henry can.
And Pittsburgh loves utilizing that. We saw that when we had Le'Veon Bell and everybody. We love dumping out to a running back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Out to
And
the flats
I'll say
make him
this:
make plays.
if you want that running back, it needs to be Travis Etienne. But I think that Najee Harris will be a better running back, can stay healthier, has that bigger body, has that bigger build. Looks like another version of Derrick Henry. So, and Alabama running backs have been hit or miss. Eddie Lacy was terrible. Trent Richardson was terrible. But you got Derrick Henry.
Well, I would say Eddie Lacy started out all right. Trent Richardson started out all right.
No, Trent Richardson was bad from the go.
But then either way, all right. And I'm not saying great.
No,
not saying
he was
good.
bad. He was bad. I mean,
I wouldn't say he was bad. I'm with Adam on this one. I think he was all right.
He's got a career average of under 3 yards a carry. He was bad. He was Ray Rice. I mean,
I think he was.
Women.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway,
he did go to Cleveland, so I don't blame him for that.
But yeah, Eddie Lacy had a good couple years, and then just said, you know what, I'm not worried about my health anymore. I'm just gonna
gain all this weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Hey,
fact,
Lacey, if you're watching this, we'd love to have you on the show. You'd fit in with the Beer Bacon Bros.
Yes. But Najee Harris would be absolutely ecstatic if this happened. Pittsburgh needs to make this happen. If somebody wants to try to trade out earlier, we should jump up and get it. Like,
I don't think you need to. I mean, that's it. I agree with you 100%, and I'm not a Pittsburgh fan. Just want to be clear about that. This would be an absolute steal for the Steelers, having literally just let James Conner walk away.
yeah.
If you got one of those two guys at 24, holy crap. I mean, that's a steal. But there's just nobody in front of you that needs running back. And that's
more than another position. Yeah.
They're
It's
not.
even
They're
that.
not just.
They
They're not
don't
even.
need running back.
Yeah, they're
I
not
mean,
dying for running back like we really are. You know.
the Jets could take it. The Titans have Derrick Henry. The Colts have 3 freaking running backs. The Bears, I mean, they got Perry. What's his name? He came from San Diego State a couple years ago. I mean, Washington could probably take a running back, but they're probably not going to. They need a lot of other things. Miami could take a running back, but probably not going to. I mean, they need a lot of other things. So it just doesn't. I mean,
It doesn't fit for another
it doesn't
team to
really
take.
fit for another team. It would be a surprise if somebody took running back before Pittsburgh did at 24. And there's 2 really, really good running backs that are first caliber.
I mean,
running
Pittsburgh
backs.
has needs. The offensive line's getting a little bit older.
Yeah.
Quarterback
Quarterback of the future.
I think they're banking on the quarterbacks we've already got, which it's okay. Give those guys another year.
That's
Receiving core is not really that hurting. I mean, maybe a few spots here on defense, but I mean, honestly, if you answer the running back question immediately in the first round, you can
Huge.
fill all those other holes with the second, third, fourth, and fifth.
it makes you, if you get Najee Harris at 24, it makes you a team that really has a chance for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, just to be completely
I'll have to
honest.
take Devin up on his bets about how Cleveland's going to sweep the Steelers this year.
if you get Najee Harris, 100%.
Yes.
100%. All right, so on to 25, so we can move a little bit farther on. Jacksonville sitting at 25, another team that we talked about has 2 first-round draft picks. 3 of those so far, as far as I can remember. You got the Jets, the Jaguars, and the Dolphins. But Caleb Farley, a lot of people end of the college football season said that Caleb Farley was the number 2 corner behind Patrick Surtain. People got to see J.C. Horn a little bit more. They got to see Greg Newsome a little bit more. Caleb Farley is not – he's got a big body at 6'1" and 7'8", basically 6'2".
6'2". Call
Yeah.
him 6'2".
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically 6'2", but he isn't very physical. Like, he could, if he puts on a little bit more weight when he gets in the NFL and they work with him a lot in the gym and they get him on the practice field, just being a little more
you could get
physical.
him up to 210.
You can. It just is. I think sometimes a little bit of football is a mentality standpoint. Like,
Yeah, I
he
was gonna
doesn't
say,
want
But
to
you have
be
to mentally
physical.
make him become more aggressive.
Yeah.
But at the same, like, if you don't have to be hands on at the line, but can still lock a player down, like,
It can work for you.
yeah, like if I don't have to jam you at the line and I can take my step or 2 back and kind of then either work in, or I'm not going to let you beat me deep. But if I can work in back, I'm a lot better running in than I am
running
trying
back.
to chase. Either backpedal or try to chase somebody down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think this guy actually is on the same level as J.C. Horn. Personally, like, if I watch his tape and see his skill set, I think this guy is a great one-on-one corner for Jacksonville. They need this pretty bad. I mean, they need to replace Jalen Ramsey. They have been trying to find somebody that can do that since they let him go. And if Caleb falls to him at 25, if you're a Jaguars fan, you got to feel good about that. You get Trevor Lawrence, and then you get a number 1 corner. Your team starts to shape up a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course, I reached out to our relative Cleveland Browns fan here at 26 and said, hey, Christian Barmore is the guy that we're seeing. 4 of the 8 have said that, he's going to be the guy that Cleveland drafts at 26. How do you feel about it? Instantly, it's not who Devin Collins wants, because Devin Collins is a general manager of a NFL team, and there's just no way that it'll happen. I really hope Cleveland. Just personal spite. I really hope Cleveland takes this guy. Like, as much crap as Devin's giving me, I really, really hope Cleveland takes this guy. If Cleveland does take this guy and he lines up in the middle of Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett, they might have the best defensive line in the NFL. I mean, holy crap, Christian Barmore. Extremely athletic, 6'4", 1/8, 310 pounds, This dude is extremely athletic at that size too.
Oh, yeah.
He's very versatile inside. He can slide from a 0 to a 1 to a 3 very easily in your defense. I mean, this guy is a pass rusher. He's a run stopper. He's got a huge body. He's actually only 20 years old. I mean, he's pretty young.
Oh, he's a young buck then.
He came out of high school under 18. So this dude, I mean, the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland should be happy with this pick.
Cleveland should be very happy with this pick. I do agree with what Mr. Collins was saying and saying that he'd rather see them fill at safety. Obviously, he hates Sendejo. I mean, he's really, really hates Sendejo. They could fill it at safety. They could get them another corner. They could improve their offense. Their offensive line was really great. They could improve it at the center position.
I say because speaking of that, is it Leatherwood? The other
Alex Leatherwood is the offensive tackle from Alabama, but you're thinking of Dickerson, the center.
Yeah, no, Leatherwood was who I was also thinking of. He played guard.
He played guard early on, but he slid to left tackle
But yes, Dickerson is the center. Mm-hmm. But Leatherwood was just a guy I remember seeing on watching games. 65, I think it was his number. He was just the biggest body that I saw always out there on that right side of the Alabama line.
Alex Leatherwood is really talented. Dickerson is actually who they're projecting Pittsburgh to take in the second round, which would replace Marcus Pouncey and would be a great pick for them. But yeah, Alex Leatherwood is another offensive tackle that will probably either go late in the first round or early in the second round. So, can you imagine? 5 years ago, we'd have said that Cleveland Browns might have the best defensive line in the NFL.
Everybody would have laughed at you.
Everybody would have laughed.
Yeah, they've really turned it around the past 5 years.
Literally every.
I'm kind of okay with Devin talking crap about them beating the Steelers and stuff because it's
because they
I can just respond back with just it took them long enough.
I'm about to say they have finally.
It was bound to eventually happen
after having 15 years of the first or second pick.
Yeah,
you should be able to put a team together.
Yeah.
But 27 overall, another rival of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, an extremely talented team, got a great defense, great offensive line. They did just actually trade. Was it for this pick? No, it's not for this pick. Sorry. They did actually just trade Kansas City for their right tackle in Orlando Brown. So Kansas City has a new right tackle that is 6'8" and 255 pounds or 355 pounds, and regarded as one of the best run blockers in the NFL. But Baltimore needs wide receiver, and everybody has shown a couple of different wide receivers. Kadarius Toney. It was his name escaped me from Minnesota for a second there, but Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. So you have a couple of wide receivers. Obviously, we saw a bunch of them go early, and this is kind of like the second wave of the guys coming through. But Kadarius Toney is a guy that they think, or at least most of them thought, that Baltimore would take. Really kind of an inside slot receiver. He's not an X or a Y. I mean, he's not somebody that can step outside and play on the bigger corners. But Lamar Jackson is not somebody that really throws to those receivers anyways.
I would say because he's just as tall. I mean, Patrick Surtain was 2 inches taller than this guy.
Yeah, Patrick Surtain was, and Patrick Surtain, had to play on when they played.
I think it's gonna be rough for this guy to have a career. He'll probably bounce from team to team, just being a slot guy.
I mean, yeah,
he's going to have to be like the next Julian Edelman or something like that.
He kind of is. I mean, he's going
to have to follow Edelman's work ethic and play type and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, he is really essentially the Danny Amendola, the Julian Edelman, the you name it, Chris Logan, whatever. I mean, anybody that you can think of that's kind of that inside slot receiver, third down, kind of get open guy.
Cole Beasley.
Yeah. Yeah, Cole Beasley, actually. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's really a fair assessment. I mean, that's kind of, when you watch his tape, that's kind of who he is. So, New Orleans Saints picking 28th. People think that they'll go corner if a Farley or a Greg Newsome actually falls to them, but I don't think it will, just from looking at all the draft picks. So, this was another thing where, I mean, the New Orleans, if they really don't believe that Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill can be the quarterback, would maybe move up and get somebody that they feel good about. But right now, a lot of them showed Terrence Marshall Jr., who is the other wide receiver from LSU. Marshall actually sat out this year at LSU. It was just Jamar Chase. And Actually, sorry, I need to flip that. It was Jamar Chase, not Terrence Marshall that sat out. Terrence Marshall did play this whole year. And at 6'2.5", 205, I mean, he's the biggest body receiver that is of that higher caliber. So, and for New Orleans, I mean, you kind of need it. I mean, you have Michael Thomas, and you don't have really anybody else.
I'm saying him and Alvin Kamara can only do so much.
Yeah,
as far as in the receiving game.
So would this guy could easily go to Baltimore as well if they wanted kind of more of an X receiver. So Zaven Collins is actually the person that Mr. Devin Collins wanted Cleveland to take. I don't see it. It doesn't fit their scheme. This guy is that rush outside linebacker in a 3-4 set, 6'4 3/4, 266. You talked about it a little bit earlier with Micah Parsons. This is the guy that kind of fits that scheme that you're talking about. There's a little bit of issues with players like this where it kind of has to be the right scheme.
Yeah.
For an NFL team. The Packers have that 3-4 scheme. They need a pass rusher. God forbid they need Terrence Marshall. I mean, they need Kadarius Toney. They need a wide receiver more than any freaking thing. But this is who people got saying. I mean, this is somebody that the Packers really, really like. And
but are they going to turn around in 5 picks, pick again in the second round?
Would Green Bay?
Yeah. Like, do we know where they pick in the second round?
I would imagine they probably pick 29th in the second round as well, or 28th in the second round as well. So, I was
about to say, because I mean, unless they made some kind of trade deal and they got an early second round pick to where they can go and get this rush outside linebacker and then almost immediately turn around
and take a wide receiver. Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't sure what their possibly second round pick was looking at.
I could look it up for a second, but Zaven Collins is well regarded as the guy that is the literal best pass rusher in this class. I mean, it obviously has to fit a scheme for you, but I mean, he is very, very well regarded as the best pass rusher by all means. So if you fit that 3-4 scheme, if your team fits that 3-4 scheme, be praying that you get Zaven Collins, because this dude is really, really good.
So Green Bay ain't even in the damn top
Green
60.
Bay's at 62, which they have Taven Wallace picking from Oklahoma State. So they do have a wide receiver for you. But like I said, Pittsburgh, they showed Landon Dickerson, center from Alabama. Wonder who Dallas has. Dallas
D tackle.
Oh, they talked about Christian Barmore actually. So
I wouldn't mind that.
He's not going to make it to you. I tell you that.
I agree with that.
The number one defensive tackle in the entire NFL draft is not making it to the second round. So, on to 30 as we wrap up these last couple picks. So I know we're going a little long on the video, but how do you say this kid's name?
Trayvon Moehrig.
Yeah, Trayvon Moehrig.
Moehrig. Okay. Regarded as the best safety in the class. Obviously, we've talked a little bit about safety earlier on. This is the kid I was referring to.
First safety, I think.
First
safety, yeah.
First safety.
So first true safety.
It's a little bit weaker. This class is at safety, so you're probably not going to see somebody slide in
ahead of him.
This guy may not even go in the first round from some of the stuff that I saw. But 6'5", 202, first safety. I mean, the Bills need it. The Bills need a lot of defense. They could really use a pass rusher if Collins even fell. I don't think they run a 3-4, but who knows? Figure it out. Take the best player you can. And so this is kind of who we have projected for the Buffalo Bills. And then over at 31, I just talked about it a second ago, or maybe not even referenced it. I can't remember, but Kansas City made that trade with
because they got Baltimore. Rid of Orlando Brown, you were saying.
Yeah. So this is the pick that Baltimore got back. They got multiple picks back, but this is the pick that they got back. They got Kansas City's number 31.
Have 2 first rounders.
They do have 2 first rounders, both very late. But this is
but still to say you got to say you got 2 first round talent according to your team, you got 2 first round guys is solid.
Yeah.
Especially when you're competing A for your division the last 2 years and B for a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And so for Baltimore, I mean, Jalen Mayfield makes sense. You just traded away your right tackle. Why would you not go get another right tackle? So this guy 6'5" and a quarter, 326, regarded pretty well. I mean, obviously in the photo you see him blocking Chase Young, who Washington just drafted as the number 2 or whatever all pick last year. Yep. So it makes a little bit sense. and this was, what kind of people were saying after that trade is, hey, this is who Baltimore would be interested in taking. So
is he, I guess, the next right tackle, like the next
Yeah.
best right tackle available?
yeah, he was, if all the tackles that we currently have said are gone, we're going.
Yeah.
So, and then when you get into the later parts of the draft, there's not a lot of consistency in who people are saying taking. But for Tampa Bay at 32, we've seen offensive line. They could really use the improvement there. We've seen secondary at safety. So if the guy from TCU falls, maybe this is where they take him. And then Carlo Bateman Jr., who is basically just a run stopper on the defensive end
Say the
spot.
third best
Yeah.
D end.
Yeah, so it's 6'3" and a
I guess
quarter.
fourth, because you had both guys from Miami.
Both guys
and
from Miami, the kid from Michigan.
that was
I think that was it, though.
that was the only three.
Yeah, I
D
think that
ends
was
ahead of
it.
him.
So
I guess true D ends. I guess.
yeah, and so this makes a little bit of sense for them. They weren't very good against the run earlier. We saw their name up in the top. So, they were really good against the run earlier. We saw the name at the top. So just kind of refreshes you, get you another body on the defensive line. I mean, if they like one of the other quarterbacks, like maybe a Kyle Trask or the kid from Stanford, they could probably take a quarterback here that kind of fill behind Tom Brady, quarterback of the future here at 32. But they got a lot of talent. They don't really need a whole lot of things besides offensive or defensive line. So
that's what you focus on here. So
yeah,
well, that is the Beer, Bacon, and Bros
mock draft.
Mock draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mock draft. So
I'll be interested to see like how many of these we actually do get right.
I would be.
I've got an idea of how building something up. I know I got a little idea of what we're gonna
Okay.
do. Yeah.
Over under 14.5.
Correct?
Yeah.
Under.
Ooh,
Under 14.5 are correct.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get cocky. I'm gonna go over.
I think it's gonna be over.
Okay.
I think we get a lot.
We need to bring back the wheel of punishment for stuff like this. Now we got video.
Yeah,
Now that we got video.
I think. I mean, you could pretty much put in the bank the first five.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I'm saying and you're saying 10 more after that?
Yeah. I mean, I think the Greg Newsome pick is pretty clear. I mean, the Jets obviously want him at 23. I think Pittsburgh will take Najee Harris at 24. I think, we're probably going to be right about Patrick Surtain at 10.
But I guess what's going to kill us though is if there is some like
trades.
some last minute
trades.
Draft day trades and
Yeah.
people moving up.
Yeah. And I mean, it could happen. So he and I will take the over 14.5. You'll take the under. How about that?
That's my plan. I'm taking
All
the
right.
under.
All right. So any more things for the draft? You feel good about it?
I feel good about the draft picks. Yeah.
All right,
I think we've got to knock a good mock up there. Yeah. I think we're good.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, that is the Beer, Bacon, and Bros big board if you'd like to see it on
Yeah.
YouTube later.
The triple B.
And if you have
Actually be the quintuplet
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 Bs. Beer, Bacon, Bros, big board.
big board, okay,
Yeah.
I like it. And if you want to, please comment on this video. Let us know whether you
Agree or disagree.
agree, disagree. If you're a fan of
Yeah.
a specific team and you feel like you really liked our pick, or you'd like to hire us as your GM, just let us know. I'm happy to do that as well. So, but yeah,
Yeah, definitely engage with us. Let us know what you guys are thinking on that.
make sure to like this video, comment on it if you got something to say, and subscribe as always. So
Share it. Send it to people too, please.